So definitely there's this thing called imposter syndrome for sure, where you feel like I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough to be coaching other people. And I just say, you got to just go out and do it. So always have faith that you have something to offer and that you have something to teach others. So that's definitely number one.
Hey there, welcome back to the Chill Mom Boss Show, and I'm your host, Michelle Hon. Today with me, we have holistic nutritionist Riyana Rupani, who's focused on helping others create lasting changes through real food and lifestyle. She's also a mother of three who has worked in the corporate world for 15 plus years, so she understands the pressure of work and home. So today we'll hear from her about how her stories and how she got into what she does now and how she helps you get fitter and healthier. Hello, Riyana.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, my name is Riyana. I am a holistic nutritionist, but I wasn't always a holistic nutritionist. Before this, I was working in finance, and then about 5 years ago, I decided it was time to follow my passion, follow my heart, and make a career change. And I went back to school, and studied a topic I love and got into the whole world of holistic nutrition. And yeah, I've been loving the journey ever since.
So what was the catalyst that makes you like, okay, I need to make this career change? Because it hasn't been easy, right? It must not been easy because you've been in corporate for 15 years, but why entrepreneurship and why nutrition?
Yeah, so I think it all kind of happened quite organically. I was good at my job. I can't say I loved my job, but I was going through the motions. And I came to a point in my life where I was actually trying to have kids. And I was dealing with a lot of infertility issues. And the more doctors I saw, the more medication I was getting put on, but no one was able to kind of help me understand why I was getting unwell, why these problems were happening. And so while I was still working, I was doing a lot of research for myself, and I started to make small diet changes, small lifestyle changes, and it worked. I mean, as you mentioned, I'm a mom of three beautiful boys now, and I accredit a lot of it to changing my diet and lifestyle. And when I kind of came upon this information and had this aha moment, I was like, this is incredible because we see so many women struggling with similar issues, whether it's hormonal imbalances, PCOS, autoimmune conditions, and they all feel like this is just normal. And I wanted to teach them because I learned it for myself that it's not normal. You don't have to live this life. So yeah, I very bravely decided to quit my job, took the plunge, and went back to school. And I never looked back. It kind of all just kind of came together.
Yeah, I love how you say very bravely, but I think like because you made that changes in your life and you know that it can help others, that must have been like a big why that propel you to leave like the comfort of your job to go into this full time. But like, so you went into school for like how long? So you actually took a break from work, went to school, and then how old are your kids now? Like how old was your kids when you decide to like quit your job and then go into this?
Yeah, so I've got three boys. They are 7.5, 5.5, and the youngest one is just about to turn 4.
Right.
Um, so I was actually pregnant at the time. So
So
my schooling, no, I was pregnant with the second one
okay.
at the time when I went back to school. And yeah, I actually ended up just taking a sabbatical because I didn't know where it was going to go, how it was going to kind of uh, change, what was going to come of it. So I said, okay, I have the security a little bit. Let me just take a sabbatical and see how it goes. And after I finished my course, um, yeah, it was just magical the way, I was just like, nope, I can't go back to that. The thought of even going back to my corporate job was just like not going to happen. So I basically told them, yeah, I said, I'm not going to come back and I'm going to give this a real shot. So luckily, I did have a good relationship with the company I was working with. So um, I decided to just give it a go.
Yeah, good on you. And look where you are now. So that have been 5 years since, right? Because your kid is 5.5, so it's been 5 years since. So how did you first how do you get your first client? Because that's like the first thing that a lot of my students at Mom Boss Academy will ask me. So if I want to jump into this the first time, I want to be a coach, I want to teach parents about parenting, how do I get my first client? How was it for you?
So definitely there's this thing called imposter syndrome for sure, where you feel like I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough to be coaching other people. And I just say, you got to just go out and do it. So always have faith that you have something to offer and that you have something to teach others. So that's definitely number one. Number two also is don't undervalue yourself. So a lot of times, like even though I felt like doing this, I wanted to kind of offer my services for free. So I was like, I'm not good enough yet. I haven't had enough experience yet. And the thing that I learned is that,
Hey there, I'm taking a short break to let you know that if you've been thinking about starting a business but you just don't know where or how to start, or you're that frazzled entrepreneur trying to do everything but your business is still not growing, consider Momentum, my month-to-month coaching membership to take your business to that next level so you can reach your goal faster and easier. You will gain access to in-depth training, strategies, mindset coaching, and an exclusive community that is designed to help you define your purpose, clarity, strategies, and create a business and life that you like. So head to michellehorn.com/momentum to find out more today.
money is literally an exchange of energy. So if someone's, giving you money, it's basically a commitment. And vice versa. If you take money, you're also committing to do the work for them as well. So even if it's a little bit, even if it's a friend of a family or even a friend, have faith in yourself, baby steps, do it, and exchange that energy so that they're committed and you're committed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great because a lot of people are just like, oh, maybe I'm just going to do this for free. I don't know what to do. And very often when you give free advice, what would other people do with it? Nothing, because there's no skin in the game. So good on you. But I want to hear, who was your first client and how did it happen?
Okay. So my first client was actually a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And she was struggling with a few autoimmune issues. So for me, gut health is really important. I myself struggled with 2 autoimmune conditions. So I was like, okay, this I can get, this I know. So basically I took her on and I learned through the process. I think this was one of the nicer things is that, because I was comfortable with her and she knew where I was coming from, we were able to go back and forth. So she was my first client, and we just went through the process together. And she was actually the one I think kind of helped me formalize my whole coaching method, I guess you could say. So, and from her, this is the other thing that I think is beautiful about maybe even being in a small country like Singapore. Word of mouth is really powerful. So when you help people and they see results and they feel good, they love telling other people. And I think that's one of the biggest catalysts that actually helped my business start to grow.
That's awesome. That's great. Yes, absolutely, right? So for a lot of coaches, I absolutely agree that the first step is to take on one-on-one clients first, because a lot of people are like, but one-on-one client takes a lot of time. Like, mini steps, that's the first step you do, and that's how, like you say, I love that you mentioned that she actually helped you sort of like formulate your system, your framework of how you now help the other clients, right? You kind of like have your own set of method right now. So tell me, who are your typical clients these days?
So I work with, I'd say, predominantly women. I do have a few male clients. So it's either women mostly moms who want to improve their own health and their health of their family. So that's predominantly who I am working with now. And I work with clients both one-on-one and now as well, I started a group coaching program called 15 and 15.
Nice, nice. Tell me all about it. So how do you help them?
So it varies. People come to you for different reasons. Some people, are having health issues. Some people, they want to just have more energy. They are having maybe problems reducing weight. They want to understand how to nourish their family better. They've just had children. So it's all walks of life. So I always say the biggest factor is to meet a client where they are on their journey. So not everyone is going to be, cleaning up their diet 100%, taking all the supplements, going to bed at 9:30 and doing all the things,
Yeah.
baby steps. So it's about relating to the person, understanding, where they are coming from, where they are on their health journey, and meeting them there, and then helping them get to what is the next level for them.
Right. But then this group programs must be like a common, few problem that you're solving for them. And then like what other steps are they like improving on the nutrition side of things, or it's called like more holistically?
Yeah, so it's a 15-day program, the Clean and 15, and the main focus is on food, but it is definitely a holistic program. So we want to be focusing on other things like movement, hydration, mindset, mindfulness, sleep, all of these. We take it for granted, but they play such a big role in our life. So I think it's a pretty short program, 15 days, but the results you end up getting if you commit yourself have been incredible. And in general, I'd say the main reasons why people come into the program, a lot of people are actually dealing with digestive issues. So they're feeling bloated, uncomfortable, or blood sugar issues where they're having energy crashes, or they feel like they're constantly craving, carbs or sugar. And they don't understand how to battle it. And again, to the point, this is what they thought was normal. And then I'm here to teach them that, tweaks, changes, and you can be, living a very different life.
Great. And what's like the biggest misconception? Because I have a few already at the top of my head. It's like, oh, does that mean I have to eat like lots of veggies all the time? And like, this is your chance, bust the myth for us.
Okay.
And like, how do we still, live a full life, but while looking after our nutrition and good sleep and all of those things?
Yeah. So I am not a person who believes in all or nothing. There is definitely that way. And that's why I pride myself on my branding, healthy-ish and happy.
I was going to ask you about that. So cute, healthy-ish.
Yeah, because yes, of course we want to be healthy, but we need that balance in our life, right? We want to eat, the treats and the foods that I typically would consider not so healthy. So yeah, finding that balance, and everybody's balance is really different. So, okay. I think another reason why I feel like I got into this and why I relate so much to my clients is because I am a foodie. I love food, from all angles, sweet, savory, spicy, you name it, I'm a foodie. So I'm also a recipe developer, and I have a blog where I post lots of delicious recipes, and people are shocked when they actually try the food and they're like, Riyana, are you sure this is healthy? Are you sure this is good for me? And I'm like, yes, it's good for you. So, but to some of what you were asking, the myth.
Yeah.
So myth number one, I would say, is fat is going to make you fat. That is, I know I myself grew up in the generation of, fearing fat. I'm sure many of the viewers also grew up in that generation. Fat will not make you fat. So this was like an aha moment for me when I learned this. I was like, so more than 60% of our brain is actually made of fat. Each of our cells is coated in fat. Our hormones are built on fat. So why do so many of us, especially women, I feel like have these hormonal issues and, again, it's become so common. It's because of our diet. It's because of our fear of fat that we're like, oh my gosh, if I eat it, it's going to make me fat.
Yeah.
But it won't. It'll nourish you. If you're eating the right fats, if you're eating good fat, it'll only make you stronger.
So it's okay to fry food in good fats? No.
So
yeah, there.
Yeah, no, shallow frying is okay. Deep frying you want to stay away from, because basically that denatures the fat and it denatures the food when you take it to that high of a temperature. So yeah.
Okay, so still no fried food. But generally, like, it's okay to spread butter on your bread. Go for it, right? Don't skip that. I was brought up in that generation that no butter. Try to avoid fat at all costs. Low fat milk, low fat that, right?
I know. And it's so sad because those are the products that are actually over processed. So they actually have to add things in there and make it go through different
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat, milk.
Exactly. It was meant to be that way. There was a reason why it was meant to be that way. So I always say if someone wants low fat milk or skim milk, buy whole milk and just add a little bit of water to it and make your own low fat milk, as opposed to buying something that's extra processed and who knows, what it had to go through to get.
Absolutely. And usually the low fat stuff has actually higher sugar, which is actually worse for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for busting that for us. So, what's the one thing that you would say that you're so glad that it's like your life has absolutely changed from when you were in a job? So what makes you like keeps going in this job? In this sorry.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's helping people. When people are like, oh my gosh, Riyana, I never thought that I would feel this way, or I never thought that it was possible for me to not be bloated after I eat my lunch, or I never thought it would be possible for me to shed the baby weight. All of those moments are what drives me. It is incredible to be able to be in a industry where you can touch so many people in such a personal manner.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And absolutely. And let's give people a taste of like what it really is as well. What is your biggest struggle as an entrepreneur?
So I think before, the biggest struggle was getting started, of course, having the confidence, having the faith in yourself that you can do it. Once you get over that hurdle, I think it is trying to not be a perfectionist at everything and looking at your mistakes as things that will help you grow, as opposed to things that are going to make you give up or hold you back, because we have to make mistakes. That is the only way we're going to learn from them and we're going to grow from them. And then I'd say getting uncomfortable. A lot of us are very safe, very comfortable in our jobs, very comfortable in our lives. But if you want to make a change, if you want to do something, you got to lean into being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's where you grow, right? What comfort is outside of your what growth is outside of your comfort zone, isn't that what they say? All right. Exactly. So what is the one advice that you would give, someone who is just starting out in their business and having that imposter syndrome that you talked about? So how did you get over yours?
I would say number one is have faith. Remember that you are just starting, just like any new job or when you started school or etc. There's that learning curve. No one's expecting you to go in right away and know exactly what you're doing. So, there are going to be days that you start and you come home or you're done with your day and you just feel like giving up. But I would say internalize that. Take it for what it is, have a good night's sleep, and start again tomorrow. Every new day is a new chance for you to kind of push ahead.
Okay, great. And I think we need to wrap it up with a nice little bow. What is the one nutrition takeaway that our audience can do today that make the biggest difference in their life? It's probably like not everything, but like just one thing if you want to like tell them start today, what is it?
Okay. Can I give you two things?
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
okay. Thing number one,
Yep.
drink water.
Yep.
And if you feel like you're not absorbing your water, you're always thirsty, add a little pinch of salt to your
Ah.
mineral salt, pink salt to your water. The second thing I would say is give yourself 12 hours between dinner and breakfast. So let your body rest and digest for 12 hours. So if you finish your dinner at 8 p.m., make sure you're not eating anything until 8 a.m. the next day.
Okay.
Two tips that I promise will just
You
help
feel
change.
lighter, immediately better. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get started on that. Thank you so much for the great tips, and thank you so much. And if our audience would like to find out more about you and perhaps work with you, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, and my handle is healthyish and happy. And then I have a website as well where you can find some of the yummy recipes I was talking about and more information on how to work with me one-on-one. And that's www.healthyishandhappy.com. And then the third place is cleanin15.com. So that's where you can find more about the group coaching program.
All right, so there you go. That's how you can find Riyana. And if you're feeling bloated and you're having infertility issues, that she can help you with all that. So thank you so much, Riyana. Now, if you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a review wherever you're listening or watching, a good one I hope. And you can also tag me at the Chill Mom or momboss.academy on Instagram and tell me what you enjoyed from today's episode. I would love to see how you fit the Chill Mom Boss Show into your life. Until next time, all my best, and you've got this.